This is kind of a weird topic, autism and weather, or climate even. So I was born and raised in Europe, okay, and all of my life I lived there. And when I was small, I remember my father used to take us up north, like really to like beyond the polar circle. I remember first time not experiencing night. I was like, what is going on? You know, the sun doesn't set. So it was very interesting, but that kind of gave me a hint about my father's possible. And I asked him, like, why do we go north? You know, like we can go south, it's warm, it's sunny, it's, you know, there is the sea, you can swim. But he's like, no, we go north, it's too hot. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I couldn't do anything. So now, maybe now I can understand that, you know, autism is kind of hereditary. So if your parents have it, maybe you will have it. Maybe your kids will have it. And so my guess is that my father probably felt really uncomfortable in hotter. In European summers, they are quite hot, right? So he wanted to move north where it wasn't so hot. And I realized it strongly when I was in Japan. Japanese summers have more sunshine, which actually is very good for me because, how to say, there is much more sunshine here in Japan than in Europe. And so that's why I feel that I'm getting more vitamin D, and I feel like it's much better for my body. But the temperatures, and more importantly the humidity, that's what's so hard for me here. It's because here, for example, in summer you can have 32 degrees and the humidity of like 50%. That's really high, and it goes higher. Like a couple days ago it was like 70, I think. So it's basically kind of like sauna every day, all the time. And so the only salvation is basically having air conditioning. But again, I don't really like air conditioning anyway. My only salvation and my only kind of, how to say, measures that I take against that are, number one, natural kind of clothing materials. So cotton is very good, and spacious. So like this actually breaks the cotton rule, but this is breathable. So it's very easy to dry. So when you sweat, then you get wet, right? But this type of material, it's very easy to evaporate. And another one is basically I try to wear less clothes, because then I have much less sensitivity to air than I have to any kind of fabric. So I much more enjoy, you know, just air. And yeah, this is kind of weird. Like, I hope you don't have this kind of problem that I have. But yeah, if you do, please share your tips on how you can counteract living in hot and humid environments.